Let's get a quick take on RTD launching its first ever autonomous shuttle program operating from the 61st and Pena Rail Station. Although the shuttle will not have a driver, an ambassador from RTD will stay in the car at all times to ensure the safety of its passengers. Pat Calhoun from Westford. I don't know, to me it seems like the sponsorship of this thing writes itself. If the University of Colorado is going to sponsor the A-Line, this seems like the Denver's Roomba, but maybe it's me. What do you think?
Well, I thought it was the most ludicrous thing I'd heard, especially when you have an ambassador sitting there but not driving it, until I realized I'd probably rather be on that RTD vehicle than the R train, where the driver is now on leave for having severed a woman's leg.
Yeah, with the derailment.
Right.
Yeah, gotcha. You're good point. David Cole from the Independence Institute, after a couple weeks off, it's good to have you back. Does RTD get a little more latitude to try something like this than, let's say, Bob's Taxi Company to do an automated vehicle?
Well, for all the mockery we hear around this table, I think we'll look back to 2019 and we'll say, wow, that was a time when RTD could afford to send ambassadors to different places because RTD is in a death spiral. It's made a huge bet on light rail, enormous capital costs. The capital costs are about double, in many cases, what they expected. Ridership has not increased. They're still 5% of metro area commutes, just like they were long ago. And despite Mayor Hancock's attempts to increase congestion and make people ride RTD, it ain't working. They could have, and they keep raising the fares to cover their operating costs, but which drives down ridership even further. They are economically unviable, and we'll miss them when they're gone.
Eric Sonderman, political analyst. If you're a driver at RTD, are you seeing a canary in the coal mine here?
Well, if you're a driver of any kind, the driverless revolution is coming. We just don't know on what time frame. Whether you're a taxi driver, whether you're an Uber and Lyft driver. I mean, if we go, you guys like doing the time machine shows going backwards, but if you do a future tense time machine, driverless cars, not that far in the future, are going to be the norm. I'm with Patty. The ambassador thing caught my eye. I think ambassador is a fancy word for chaperone, or I don't know what else we could possibly call them. To be fair, this is a proof of concept. It's an experiment. It is not ready for rollout. It is not at scale. It's going to go 12 miles an hour, etc. I'll be curious to see what comes of it, and it is a step in this driverless movement. I used to resist that movement because I actually enjoyed driving, but then something switched in me a few years ago. I said, but no one else is driving, they're all texting. So if everyone's just going to be texting, bring on the revolution.
You're here. Rounding out the panel, Megan Schrader, editorial page editor at the Denver Post. It's great to have you back. Megan, are you excited to try out the new vehicle without a driver but with an ambassador?
So not this one, in a loop around a small make-believe community. It's not exciting, but the prospect of having driverless cars, a society where you no longer own a car, you hop a ride in an autonomous vehicle and get to where you're going is exciting. It's going to could change everything.